On March 14, 1970, Robert White and his team wheeled two small monkeys into the operating room. White, a neurosurgeon, was about to embark on a groundbreaking experiment that had been in development for decades, a procedure that seemed bizarre and, at times, felt like something pulled straight from a strange dream. To connect the head of monkey A to the body of monkey B, which he referred to as a full-body transplant. White ultimately envisioned performing this type of surgery on human patients someday. While unsettling, the concept of a body transplant raises complex questions, ethical, biological, and philosophical, about the nature of life and the boundaries of medical science. These debates are still ongoing. But first, the critical question remains, is such a procedure even medically feasible? White's experiment faced numerous technical obstacles. The most significant issue was paralysis, as no surgeon back then, nor today, could successfully reconnect a severed spinal cord. Nevertheless, White, a practicing neurosurgeon, believed the surgery might offer a life-saving solution for patients suffering from spinal cord injuries or diseases that progressively impair mobility, like ALS. For these patients, the possibility of multi-organ failure or full paralysis looms large. White hoped that by replacing the entire body in a transplant, he could save their lives by addressing all of these issues at once. However, paralysis was not the only hurdle. Brain cells, due to their high energy needs, require a continuous supply of oxygenated blood to function. But during the transplant, it was likely that the brain's oxygen supply would be interrupted for an extended period. White had a solution for this too. He knew that cooling the brain slows its metabolism, reducing the need for oxygen. After conducting experiments on dogs and monkeys, White refined a brain cooling technique where the blood flow to the brain was selectively chilled and paused while the rest of the body's blood remained warm and circulating. Then, in 1964, he successfully applied this method to a human patient with a life-threatening brain tumor. By lowering the patient's brain temperature to 11 degrees Celsius, the surgical team extended the window for tumor removal from a few minutes to over an hour, without causing any harm. This brain cooling technique revolutionized neurosurgery and brought White closer to realizing his vision of a body transplant. However, ethical concerns loomed large over this idea. What conditions would justify such a radical and experimental surgery, knowing it could result in severe pain and neurological damage? And how many animals would have to suffer in the process of testing this possibility? At the time, bioethics was still an emerging field, but that didn't stop many critics, both within and outside of the scientific community, from condemning White's research as cruel. Nevertheless, White continued to gain support from organizations like the NIH, and by 1970, he was ready to attempt a body transplant on a monkey. The process began with monkey A being connected to temporary blood vessels made of plastic tubes that linked its head to the body. One by one, the team carefully connected body B to head A. Afterward, they anxiously waited for the monkey to wake from anesthesia. When it did, the monkey was alive, though paralyzed and clearly distressed. According to the team, the monkey could still see, hear, smell, and even attempted to bite a doctor's finger. For White, this proved that the operation could be a success. The brain appeared to survive the head transplant, and with the aid of high doses of drugs, it was possible to prevent immune rejection. But this raised a deeper question: had White successfully transplanted a body to monkey A's head, or had he transplanted a head onto monkey B's body? This surgery brought to light age-old questions about the relationship between the mind and the body. While modern neuroscience shows that the brain plays a central role in our consciousness, new research into gut neurons and the microbiome suggests that the relationship between body and mind might be more complex than previously thought. Does part of who we are exist beyond the brain? The body and brain are intricately connected by networks of circuits and signals, so what is lost when they are separated? As a neurosurgeon, White performed over 10,000 brain surgeries throughout his career before retiring in 1998. However, the human head transplant he once dreamed of was never realized. Despite this, other scientists have expressed interest in continuing White's work, reigniting unresolved debates. Even if a doctor could successfully attach a human head to a new body, one question remains: which of the two would truly survive? And is the pursuit of extending life always worth the potential costs?